I think my favorite thing about Halloween is dressing up. And it's not even necessarily dressing up as somebody or something that you're not. Just the idea of being able to dress up is pretty fucking cool. When I was a kid, I was deathly afraid of a lot of horror films like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. Even the video game Twisted Metal with Sweet Tooth. I was, like I said, when I was a kid, I would stop breathing. While I was sleeping, I would, or trying to sleep or whatever, and thinking that they were gonna break into my room at any point in time. I would stop breathing or whatever, train myself to not breathe so that, if they think that I'm dead or whatever, they won't take me away or whatever. But nowadays I can't even necessarily put myself into a situation. I mean, like a horror film. I'm just so, because it's just so clearly, this is just it's just a movie. Not that there isn't disturbing things that happen in this world. And I mean, I think the other reason why it's not as scary nowadays is because of the internet specifically. They have, you can see, real horror in real time sometimes. And I mean, in some ways, it kind of is desensitization. Desensitization, is that even a word? I know. I don't know. I know desensitized, but anyway, just. It really, I feel like when you put yourself into, or seeing so much of that stuff, I mean, it can really make you very apathetic, but, I digress or whatever, anyway. So I guess I'll admit, not that I can't, I always try to at least watch one horror film, around Halloween, or October. But yeah, I guess I'm more into the cuter or the cutesy version of Halloween, the fucking black cat and the witches and the fucking jack-o'-lantern and all that stuff, the candy, and once again, I guess, I don't want to say camaraderie per se, but just the, the night or the day you get to be freaky, and it's socially acceptable. I guess I also like Halloween because it's all about like monsters and ghouls and Dracula, vampires, Frankenstein. I mean, I was wearing like one of those coats that's like almost the same color as Frankenstein's coat, and I just felt like I was just walking around in this fucking Frankenstein's monster for a while. I mean, it's just a stupid thing, but I mean, like I was walking up the stairs, someone's walking down the stairs, they see me, and they were literally like fucking they like whoa. I mean, Halloween represents scary, just the fear. And I mean, I think a lot of people are afraid all the time, so this is like the one time to once again express that emotion where they otherwise have to hide that emotion. Like I'm not afraid. I mean, honestly, it's pretty healthy to be afraid. I mean, I think if you were not afraid of something, not afraid of fire, or not afraid of shooting a nail through your hand or something like that, or cutting yourself, or getting wounded or maimed or whatever, being afraid can be very fucking healthy. But at the same time, though, clearly, if you're afraid of fucking everything, that's very unhealthy too, because realistically, a lot of shit doesn't happen to people. I'm not gonna say it never happens, but I mean, like, also because of the internet, also coupled with the news, just constantly this fear that there's going to be a terrorist attack, or that you're going to get into a school shooting or a mass shooting in general. I mean, these things do happen. They do definitely happen. But at the same time, though, I mean, a lot of these things you can't even, like, how are you supposed to know about that? It's going to these things are going to happen. You can't, like, this is something I have to, face myself, is that, things are going to happen. You know what I mean? And you just adapt, overcome, or, kick the bucket, because that's just how it fucking goes. That's life, I guess. In some ways, Halloween's like a reminder that, you and I, humans, we're alive. Not just humans, but I guess animals in general, that we are alive and that we do die. And shouldn't be afraid that we're going to die any second. So it gives us some time to relax or whatever, but also, I don't know, to enjoy living, because we're going to be dead way longer. I mean, it's also funny too, because, back in the way back, you had to fucking defend yourself, and I mean, it's not like you still have to do that shit nowadays, but I mean, like, that was a part of living was always having a weapon on you just in case something happened. Whereas nowadays, we live in a much safer society or environment. I'm not saying, once again, it's some places are worse than others, obviously. I saw this one documentary on horror, and they said that it started with pictures, which, it's obvious. How else are you supposed to depict a physical feeling, or how are you supposed to depict a feeling physically? People wrote books as well, and then when movies came along, it was a lot. Was it a lot easier? Because once again, imagination, it's within the individual themselves. Whereas if you have these images and you show them or whatever, I guess like when they first showed, this is one of those things, when they first started showing like movie theaters or whatever, showing a video or whatever, a film. There was a film of a train coming towards the camera, and apparently that freaked a lot of people out. They actually thought that the train was going to come out of the image or out of the wall and, I guess kill people or whatever. So I guess horror in general can be very misguided or misunderstood, I guess. Halloween's just kind of like a little fun version sometimes of harsh reality. The very animalistic, not even just animalistic sometimes, just straight up nature, and, earthquake or a fucking tornado, you know what I mean? That's considered horror as well, due to the consequences of these actions or these events. What's scarier? Say, for example, like a slasher film. Is it scarier to see the knife go into the body or to see the dead body? Obviously, both is scary. I fucking love, like, Halloween specials, too. I love, like, holiday specials in general, but they're fucking dope as hell, man. Come on. You're telling me God doesn't want to dress up as a devil sometimes? I'll just name off some films, some horror films. Well, not exactly horror films, but movies that I watch for some reason around Halloween. When I passed out candy with an old friend, we used to watch Clerks. I don't know why, but it just seems like a very comfy, cozy movie to watch to Halloween. I don't know. Some of my favorite movies, Dread, 2012, and Drive, 2011. Nightcrawler, I'll just throw out there. That's pretty cool. I can't remember. I think in 2014 or something like that came out. Any George Romero film. I haven't watched all of them, but you got Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, of the Dead. I can't remember. Night of the Living Dead. That's a pretty solid film. Still relevant. I like the Dawn of the Dead, the whole commercialism, blah 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 blah. Shaun of the Dead. I love that fucking dude. I would love to watch that again. That's one of my favorite fucking movies, man. It's such a good fucking film. I recently really got into Letterkenny, which is off of Hulu or Crave or whatever. And they have a really funny Halloween special, in my opinion. I've watched that more than a couple of times. Like, once again, it doesn't have to always be about scary and terrifying and stuff like that. Just, once again, I really like the idea of just the freakiness, like the magic that, does magic exist, and the bizarre, the coincidence, deja vu and all that. And I guess I'll just end with, like, even the candy part, collecting candy wasn't, for some people, maybe that was the thing about it or whatever. But I just think, once again, it was just like, you're allowed to be a freak or whoever you wanted to be. You're allowed to dress up and, spend some time with friends or with family or whatever. I keep on saying whatever, I'm sorry. I really just asked the question, like, why do holidays even exist in the first place? Is there a message? Or does it just simply exist? Clearly there's got to be a message to it. There's got to be symbolism to it. Why the hell does an entire, not even just a country, but like, parts of the world, celebrate, and not even just like Halloween, but like any holiday. Every holiday's got their own reasons or whatever. You go President's Day or Memorial Day, Christmas, Hanukkah, etc. Or Halloween. As for Halloween music, I used to play the Horrors first album. I think Strange House is what's it called. I can't. I'm fucking. It's been a while, but that one's really. That's a really fun little quirky album to listen to. I mean, anything by the Misfits, and then you got pretty typical ones. I just can't remember any of them right now. But sometimes I even like to listen to. I forgot the fucking. Hold on one second. The Monster Mash. I mean, I fucking like listen to that stuff, like that song. I can listen to that. I mean, I was listening to it a couple months back, and it's fucking August right now. I would love to make a Halloween album. That would be dope. I mean, Smashing Pumpkins, that's a pretty fucking solid Halloween. Oh, yo, fucking A. The Adventures of Pete and Pete, that Halloween episode's fucking dope. I love The Adventures of Pete and Pete, but, and also, I mean, I can't believe I forgot about, it's fall, autumn. I mean, the fucking, where I live anyway, there's there literally is 4 seasons. Some places don't have all 4 seasons, snow and spring, or winter, spring, and autumn and summer. I didn't put it in that, not in the right order, but you know what I mean. But yeah, in New York anyway, very beautiful changing of colors. I mean, people literally will go to New York just to see that shit, or up the East Coast or whatever. Yeah, very beautiful. It's phenomenal. I'll just name off a couple more. I mean, I guess you could watch Shrek, Evil Dead 1 and 2, even the third one's pretty cool too. Pumpkinhead, that's pretty fun. Children of the Corn. I mean, I can name off a bunch of horror films, but does horror and Halloween have to be associated? Not necessarily. There are Christmas horror films. Easter horror films. I mean, fucking Passion of the Christ, man, that's a fucking horror film. The Matrix is a fucking horror film. That actually is, man. People are fucking afraid of computer simulations. Go up to any motherfucker 100 years ago on the street and say, hey, are we in a computer simulation? They're just gonna say, what the fuck is a computer? The fucking Matrix! I'm not sure how to end this, and maybe I'll say some shit afterwards, but I just want to say happy Halloween. Halloween is every day. So happy fucking Halloween. Fucking Typo fucking Negative. You gotta listen to some Typo Negative at Halloween. Hell yeah. Fucking, I mean, any death metal, maybe like Cannibal Corpse or something. I used to listen to The Witches a lot. That's definitely a spooky band. Apologies if I didn't say your favorite reference. I'll end it with a fucking shitty joke. So a soldier buddy of mine came back home from the war, missing his arms, and he doesn't have a fucking face anymore. I didn't know what to get him for a gift, so I gave him a watch. Happy Halloween. Battle Royale could be a cool-ass horror film to watch for Halloween. I don't know why, but Old Boy is also in my head right now as a suggestion. I think another reason why I like Marvel Comics is because it reminds me of Halloween, and, there's ghouls, there's monsters, mutants. Spider-Man's a fucking, it's Spider-Man, dude. Spiders are scary. But not that fucking motherfucker. He's fucking cute as hell. He doesn't even look like a spider. Marvel Comics is fucking Halloween every day. I like Frank Castle. He's been a Frankenstein monster. Captain America's been a werewolf. Immortal Hulk, I mean, that was a series. I don't know if that's still going, but that was definitely horror themed. Then you got Marvel Zombies. Holy shit, Marvel fucking Zombies, dude. So read Dead Days, 1, 2, and Returns, and that's like a perfect circle. Alright, before I get off tangent again, just once again, happy Halloween. I'll just leave it at that. I've always wanted to get into like Edgar Allan Poe and fucking H.P. Lovecraft. I mean, even Stephen King, that motherfucker's still kicking it. Happy Halloween!